Every day I wake up around 5:30. Early bird get the worm, so I'm up with the birdies. Over 30, still shooting like Steph Curry. I got it for the 56, so you better hurry. Still riding dirty like I just turned 30. I'm just trying to spread this cheese around like Papa Murphy. I done put niggas on that came back to hurt me, but you ain't put your brother on Eddie Murphy. I done trust homies and they did me dirty. I done love bitches and they cheated on me. Type of shit you wouldn't have known if you didn't know me. I got secrets that I can't even tell my homies. Got a few secrets that I keep between my brothers. When I say brothers, I'm talking same mother, same father, all grew up in one house. Am I my brother's keeper? Without a doubt. I remember that day I saw my first gram, and all them days that I saved to make my first band. I had that off-white tan like beach sand. Now I got fiends that look like Lindsay Lohan. Since my first B-day, I've been about $1. Served a white fiend that looked like he was on $1. I done seen a clean chick use a dirty dollar. Serve rich dope fiends that roll up $100.
Why I'm doing this? Matter of fact, won't you ask the why I'm doing this shit? Yeah, the book. You know what I'm saying? The book is nice folks, man. Them the people. Man, they tripping, man.
I've been on one, plus 23. Lately been feeling like K-O-B-E. I'm in the trap, trying to whip a 3-peat. Little homie just called me for a 3-piece. He looking for the bean when he wore number 8. Man, I got some beans that I'm still scared to take. I'm still in the hood, daily risks that I take. I still think about them bands that I could've made. But I don't trip though. Think about it cause it's motivational. Still think about them days I had no place to go. Mine's a hell of a thing to waste, but I didn't waste it though. Yeah, I had to step back just to step forward. All good things in, man, that shit's normal. Had to cut the bitch off, she was too boring. Steering wheel on the left, but my shit's foreign. Yeah. I need my house up on the hill like my name Lauren. Yeah. Blue and raspberry got my skin portion.
What you niggas talking about? Those books. What? You fuck with them? I don't fuck with them. Hell no, I don't fuck with them, man. I wanna burn that shit down, man. It's all. They don't even accept food stamps. Damn.
I'm just trying to make these ends meet. Fuck trying to rekindle, I let friends be. I know niggas that got mad cause they unfriend me. I had homies turn on me and they met through me. I got people ducking me and I fronted them. And a few hating me when I got love for them. They gon' sink or swim. I ain't seen them in some years, why would I link with them? I heard them niggas R&B, why would I be with them singing? All I need is a beat and I'ma do what I do. Y'all do what you can, I do what I want to. I can tell you don't want beef, y'all vegan lunch food. If I blitz and hut one, you're offside. Nigga got that kill tech, but I keep a Glock too. Got ladies in stocks too. You better duck when I shoot. And if they ride with you, they'll be in the live with you.
Yep. Let's get it, y'all. Smash that like button. Let's get in the building. Waking Bakers, let's get it. Nah, I was going to say something real slick. Salute all the bulldoggers. Salute all the bulldoggers in the house. Hey, Bloodthirst, what up, brother? Jesse Adams. What is going on? Smash that like button, man. They've been hating on me, man. YouTube, you know how they do. They're gonna hate. They're gonna hate, man. But guess what? This is the only show that it comes with the territory, man. You know, when you're the greatest, when you're in the lead, they're going to come attack your heels, man. You know what I'm saying? When you got the Wake and Bake show and you get to just pop it, it's like, damn. As much square and, they try to make you try to conform to some different type of culture or something. At the end of the day, we know what the real is. We don't have to be politically correct over here. I said this years ago on videos, you know. Some people like to micromanage. They want to try to tell you how you should do your channel, you know, all this shit. You know what I'm saying? Where was you motherfuckers when I had 17 subs? You feel me? I'm just being honest, you know. Like sometimes you gotta, especially if you ain't a motherfucker that already done built this successful situation, and you trying to tell me, you know, this is the wake and bake show. I don't want people to forget that, you know. We're gonna get guys on here, we're gonna be talking shit, we're gonna be, you know, it's the wake and bake environment, man. Just like if your partners you pulled up and motherfuckers is up early talking shit about what happened last night, or you know what I'm saying? I mean, that's the friendly environment that I want. Now, am I gonna have some straight up APBT magazine type of videos to where they're just like boom, dead on point? You know, but am I gonna forget about my wake and bakers and turn this into some corny situation to where it's not even fun no more? We're not ringing the bell. We're not having those arguments. It's not getting heated. Salute to Cosmon. You know, I need to clip that joint. You know, I need to clip that joint. We went in. You know, we was going in on shit, different topics. That's what I want. I want you guys to come up and challenge some of the shit that's being said on here. You know, if this dog is a 10, you know, he's a 10. If he's a 5, he's a fucking 5. Right? You know, so we're going to figure that out like we always do. And just keep leading the pack, you know. Dudes like to look from the outside looking in instead of just coming straight to the fucking seminar, bruh. Come on, man. Buck City, and we looking for interns, man. HED, man. What up, brother? Hey, man, appreciate everybody that purchased that magazine. You know what I'm saying? You really had motherfuckers looking at me crazy. I thought they was going to try to buy one while I was in line. You know, there's like, you know, who everybody trying to figure out who's who. You know, come on, man. We're trying to do it big. You know, they say do it big or don't do it at all. That's, I mean, hey, some people are like that. Salute everybody, my brother. Bank statement. Hemi James in the building. Dickie Foster in the building. Bub Johnson in the building. You Rock in the building. Salute my brothers. Let me see. Who else in the building? You know. We got a few topics, to say the least, right? We got a few topics. Not allergies, boy. I had an allergy attack this morning. Oh, man. I cut that damn grass. I told you I was going to get up over here. I'm going to go cut that grass and shit, boy. Woo. Man, I paid for that. Last night, oh, my goodness. Itchy eyes. Yeah, it was I'm surprised I haven't took anything yet. I've been straight fighting it, man. Hold up. Dickie Foster, hold up. Hold up, man. Them cash apps, boy. I tell you. Them cash apps. Oh, yeah. You Rock, I got that too. I got that. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Dickie Foster with the super chat. Appreciate you, fam.
I never knew that I would do numbers like this. I make a move. I'm tryna win. Ain't tryna lose. I'm tryna win. Ain't tryna lose.
Yes, sir. Nah, I appreciate the support, y'all. It's all going into the pot. Everything donated, you know, it all goes into the pot, man. You know, to make this thing bigger, you know, so that one day APBT magazine, you know, we'll be hosting our own fucking shows and shit. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna have our own shows, you know. That's the aim. Now, if the plane, we fly the plane and the plane just somehow crashes, which, you know, we all hope doesn't happen, or at least I don't. And I know a lot of people don't. You know, that's what happens. But hold on. Wifey talking about the pool and shit. Hold on. Let me see. Yeah, I gotta. Oh boy. Let me see. I gotta run outside. Evidently. Smash that like button, y'all. Smash that like. We start the show in 2 minutes. All right, I'm back. My bad, man. You gotta handle business. It's all a part of this. So risk of not culling. Y'all could take this many different ways. You guys could take it many different ways. Anybody could spin it whichever way. If you're trying to build, if you want to be one of the top breeders like we talk about all the time, or if it's just going back to just you having dogs and doing right by the dogs. You know, there's only a select few dogs that's going to be able to produce the top quality animals like on demand. You know, it's not a whole bunch of them. You got a whole bunch that can produce below average and average, but you don't have a whole bunch of great producers, you know, that are going to give you what you're looking for right away so that you can really know exactly what you're getting. Unfortunately, maybe for some they get them all the time, but a once in a lifetime type of producer, from what I've been told and research and all, you know, various sources, you know, they could come once every 20 years, bro. You know, you could be in this game literally 20 years before you actually get your hands on one that you can say is, you know what I'm saying, can hold up the torch, can represent the yard, represent the bloodline, carry on a bloodline, right? So you got to do an amazing job of pointing out different things about these dogs that you don't like and eliminating some of the bad traits so you can get closer to what it is you're looking for. You know, I've seen people produce dogs that, like, they focused on the traits so much that even though the dogs were not complete, they still focused on a certain trait. And you gotta give them that. You gotta give them that. Like, yeah, the dogs, they weren't complete dogs, but when he crossed those dogs up or he bred those dogs, he had those traits down to a science to where all of these dogs looked and performed the same way. Right. And if somebody was ever looking for some of that, I would probably go to them because that yard is actually focusing on those traits. When they're seeing those different traits popping up, that's when the culling process starts. Okay. I'm not a fan of short dogs. That's just not my thing. There's a lot of short dogs that, you know, that's out here, different lines, you know, they throwing short dogs. You get guys that get in the game, they knew, you know, they don't really know the significance or why people maybe back in the day, or, you know, they chose different phenotypes for dogs. You know, it has to do with success. So the risk of not culling is simple. You know, you're risking compiling a whole bunch of bad genetics in dogs that really are not cutting the mustard. Right? That happens a lot. It happens. You feel me? You're not going to be focusing on no traits. Those dogs are just going to be a bag of bones with a pedigree attached to it. You know, you might well put the pedigree on his toe tag his ass with his fucking pedigree on his toe. It ain't worth shit. Skittish, shy, different things like that with the dogs, different traits. I mean, we don't have to get to the box. How some of these shit eaters would perform if you bring them back 40 years or whatever, however long, so that the tree huggers won't be thinking that we're talking about modern day, 50 years ago. Is that good? You can have the most beautiful, stout dog in the world and shit. When a motherfucker put, like Saul said, put the soft part to his ass, he's not going to be that same Hercules looking dog anymore. Right? So those were some of the traits that they looked for. Those were some of the traits that help formulate what the American Pit Bull Terrier is today. Some people were culling shit hard. Some people, not so much. Get some good dogs, how they're bred, in that regard, in that regard, right? Back in the day, 50 years ago, some people were culling hard. These days, you still have to cull hard, but you're just going to do it in different ways. You're going to do things that's legal and within the parameters, right? But it's still a process. It's still a human biter. We talk about human biters. A lot of us have had them. I had one. I had a couple, right? The problems that they bring sometimes outweighs the reward of breeding that dog and carrying on the lineage. So what exactly are you looking for is what you're keeping in your culling process. You don't like the short dogs, those are going to be the ones that's going to go first. I like these two males. They got a little bit more leg. Those two males look like they're going to be short. You could get that process started early. Does it mean that the short ones will be better and vice versa? Or the tall ones will be? No. It's just with that man's preference that when he wants his finished product, he wants it as close to that as he can get. You understand me? The difference. Family of producers and just lucky. That Shrek that comes out, just green and shit and fucking, he's just Incredible Hulk, but he's an anomaly. He's not all the time. This isn't the normal characteristics of this bloodline. You could have just got lucky versus a family of producers. Right? That's what they say. Oh, this dog, oh, he did this. Oh, he was a grand champion. We're talking about 50 years ago, right? I got to keep saying that. Now, maybe I'm going to just put it on the screen or I'm going to put a little sound bite in here that says, like this is 50 years ago. You know what I'm saying? I got to put something on here because the tree huggers, they just don't understand. They don't know how to just go to work and drink coffee. They always want to be worried about us. So 50 years ago, you got this grand champion that just pops up out of nowhere. His daddy wasn't shit. Mama wasn't shit. Uncle wasn't shit. Cousins ain't shit. Right? But all of a sudden, he's a good dog. And there's a lot of people that, he's a good dog. Some people will run to that thinking that they're going to get more good dogs from that shit and thinking that, oh, performance is everything. You know, when you base everything off of performance, right? When you don't want to look at the pedigree, right? You don't. It's kind of like, 50 years ago, at some point, see, I know I would have been looking at pedigrees back then. You know, if I was born back then, I would have been looking at pedigrees, right? Because as soon as I see 2 or 3 of them off of that dog, like, damn, that's off of old Shrek. Like, damn, that motherfucker off of Shrek is kind of nice. And then you see another one off of Shrek. Yeah, that was a nice little male too, you know. Then you see a bitch. Oh, damn. Shrek probably throwing them, right? At that point, Shrek's ass might be throwing them. That's what's going on in the smart motherfucker's head, right? A dummy he won't look at that as significance, right? That doesn't mean shit to him, right? He's too busy looking at that 10 that don't got nobody in his family that's shit. His brothers, sisters, nobody. Right? So it's the family, in my opinion. This is just my humble opinion, right? Don't get on me. Don't shoot. I'm just the guy that runs the podcast. See, you guys, you can't be doing this. You can't be coming after me, right? I'm going with the family of dogs that has a good history of producing good dogs. That's what I'm going to go with. If I'm trying to start my line. When you get lucky, you might get a good dog that he probably can produce. You go on and maybe he produces good dogs. But then you get those dogs off of that. And a lot of the times, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. That magic is gone. You know, after he maybe get 1 or 2 generations down the road, it's going to revert back to the garbage that it came from. Right? So back in the day, I would see Shrek got 2, 3 siblings that's looking good. At that point, let me see that old ass pedigree. I don't care if computers don't come out for another 20, 30 years. Let me see that goddamn pedigree, man. I got to see this shit because I want to analyze and see if there's something common with what's going on with these breeding practices. That's what I would do. You know, I wouldn't just run out here and go get the hype and the hype, all of this is big and hype. Your better odds are going to be sticking to those dogs that keep it like that. That way you can maybe buy a few of them and then produce 2 dozen of them. Some of you go produce, you're gonna buy 2 dozen of them and you only gonna produce 3. Let me guess, man. Out of them 2 dozen dogs you bought, your ass only produced 3 good dogs that you can name. Somebody can fit those shoes right there. Or would you rather buy 3 dogs or 5 or 8 and produce dozens and dozens of them? Right? There's a difference. So I don't really go off the hype. I go off of what have you done for me lately? That's what I go off of. That's what kind of relationship we are with these dogs. And 50 years ago, What have you done for me lately? That's a lot of dog men were like that. You know, I got that. Well, I know I got it from a song. I forgot what song it was. I think it was Janet Jackson or some shit. It was a hit song, but I heard that from a dog man because a lot of people get carried away with some of these old biblical dog or these pedigrees and these old ass bloodlines that ain't did shit in fucking 90 years. That's where that comes from. What has this dog done? I bred her 3 times. I know it's a bitch. I know she's not gonna breed 30 times. But shit, even if she could breed 30 times, I wouldn't breed her 30 times because that bitch bred 3 times and she ain't produced shit. So she is not the one. A lot of dudes had dogs in their yard, whole yard of dogs, 12 dogs, 24 dogs, 60 dogs. I talked to a guy, he had 50 dogs at least. 50 goddamn dogs at least, you know, on his yard. 40, 50 dogs at least. Been in the game X amount of years. You know, this back then I was probably around these dogs. Maybe I probably had my 10-piece button or something. You know, I probably had a 10 in, you know, probably been breeding for 5, had a 10-year button, you know, and he at least had a dub in. Man, that motherfucker, and he was matching dogs. You know, he had a history of matching dogs way back in the day. You know, he was an older guy, old guy. And he only won a few matches. Out of all that breeding he was doing, all that scooping up dog shit, all that fixing shit and vetting shots, dewormer, he's competing. And he only produced a couple winners on his whole yard. Now, 50 years, that's a hell of a long time, but you know that's not good. We know that that can't be good, no matter what we're doing. Even if you was a boxer and you fucking lost, motherfuckers that came up out of your gym lost fucking every time. Like, bro, that's a terrible gym. We can't blame it on the kids at this point. Anything you get's gonna fail. A lot of people say, oh, good hands, put it in good hands. You know, all this shit. I hear that shit all the time. Put it in good hands. Good hands of a rookie. 9 times out of 10, it'd be a rookie saying that shit. Ain't gonna bust a grape in Napa's Valley with golf shoes on. So I'm going with the family of producers. You know, I'm going with the family of producers over just that lucky ass dog that he popped up. Everybody jumped on the wave. And then now look at it now. Nobody's fucking with that shit. Why? Because he didn't have the gene to produce. That is a thing. Every dog's not going to have it. Right? You look at dogs and you look at their characteristics and you hope that shit transfers over. But some dogs just going to transfer over better than others. It's called genetics. Your brother ain't, you know, you motherfuckers ain't the same, dog. He's taller, you faster. You know, you're different. You're all different. You feel me? You're going to take different sides of the gene pool. That's why it's important, especially getting in the game. Your first 2 litters, always keep them. I don't care what's going on. Because that is going to tell you so much about your genetics and so much about your bloodline, rather if it's good or bad. You're going to know right away if you're going to want to fuck with that or not. You know, you keep your first 2 litters, right? Let's talk about kennel blind. It's becoming more and more popular as you know, we selling puppies now. Like you can't be the best if you don't sell puppies. That's what it's come to. I've gotten many arguments. You know, they be always the biggest excuse, and this be all for this shit. You know, biggest excuse. Yeah, them motherfucker, you know, they eating more than you. That's what we was talking about the other day. You can't sweep that under the rug. If you're able to take a hobby that you love to do any goddamn way, and you're able to create a life and better other people's life doing it and employ people, all this good shit, listen, bro, give me that. Okay? Because I can fuck with y'all anytime. But give me that extra element that people don't have, and that's that facility that you got to build up to. You know, a lot of people, they're going to get kennel blind when they're trying to just sell other people's work. I think it becomes more of a thing when you're doing that. You're reluctant about trying new bloodlines. That's because you're just trying to breed up, and we went through this. We went through this shit, you know. They're gonna want to breed up somebody else's shit. You know, I'm gonna go get me 2 red boy dogs. I'm gonna breed them together, knowing they fucking shit 50 years ago. They styles probably they're not even compatible. This one's an ear sucker. That one's an ear sucker. Oh, what you gonna breed 2 ear suckers together? Oh, great. You know, so if you look at it just from that little small aspect, you know, it'll let you know, like, okay, so they were like looking at traits. They weren't talking about phenotype and shit, but motherfucker knew that he didn't want to breed no dog that lays around, right? I could name 5 dog men that told me that shit, right? Let me get my disclaimer up here because I could just smell a tree hugger. Hit the like button so I know it ain't no tree huggers in here. At least just hit the like button just so I know it ain't no tree huggers in here. You know what I'm saying? We're going to have to get the Patreon. Fuck it. I'm going to have to get the Patreon, man. What day 7-8 and them guys go up? I'm going to have to pop in on a day that them guys ain't going up, man. And get it going. APBT Magazine. Anyway, none of this content used for illegal purposes. We just want to talk about dogs. We got dogs. Some of us don't. And we just trying to run it up on this YouTube shit. Run it up. Throw some dope streams. So we can all check out these animals together. So it happens a lot, man. And let's go back 50 years. Dudes did it. It was a little bit more intention. Maybe they were stuck in their ways. A lot of dudes really believed in their line so much that they would just go down in the flames with the line. You know, you hear a lot of those stories. Every story in the APBT is not a handsome story, right? Every story ain't, it's not glitter and gold. Right? So some dudes is going down in the flames. You know, they done bred up all this red boy shit. You know, and them dog, they just wasn't standing up to the test of time. They just wasn't. Not alone in a lot of cases. And you had a lot of dudes, they just, you know what, fuck it. I'm keep doing this shit. Do one inbreeding, you get good results. You feel like you could tighten this shit up 3-4 more generations. Plenty of people did that. Plenty. Want to keep a line of dogs for years after your line already plummeted. After your line plummets, you should go back to the drawing board, bring in some help, because we all need help. We can't do this shit by ourselves. There ain't not one dog in the history of this shit that don't have multiple bloodlines in them. Not one. Go back to the drawing board, bring in a cross or two. It might take you years. You might do one cross this year, and then 2 or 3 years down the line, you do another cross. Bring some shit in. Pay a little bit of homage. Stop making it all about you. You know, you'll create better dogs. When you take you out of it, better dogs start popping up. Trust me, because it's not, the ego's not in it. When you take you out of it, that takes the whole ego out. Like, oh, I needed this guy's line. Oh, that's my dog. But you bred to my dog, and you know, all of this ego. No, I didn't breed to your dog. We together put together what we feel is the best breeding for the situation. And it was an outcross, or it was a line breeding. It was bringing something else to the table. Because, yeah, 2 generations ago, you had great dogs, but now you don't. So be open-minded. Don't be kennel blind. Your dogs, you know, they might got a burly chest or they can't breathe. Right? In today's things, we're trying to get this wall climb together. We haven't came up with a phenotype. I've been talking to a lot of people. Right? There's not really a phenotype that's dominating the wall climbing world, but there will be. Right? Within the next, by me saying this, it's going to plant a seed and it's going to happen. Trust me. But there'll be a type of dog or a weight, a height, you know, of a lot of dogs that we can put in that same category, and they're successful. Right? So people are going to start to gravitate and breed their dogs toward that, you know. And if you're not getting that, if your dogs can't jump at all, it's time to bring in a new line. Don't be kennel blind. It'll destroy everything you're trying to do. Right? Smash the like button, y'all. We in here. Support the stream. I'm allergied up and everything. I ain't took no Claritin, no nothing. You know, I'm gonna do this stream and we're gonna get to the post office. We're gonna get to the post office. Rare Blood just copped the volume 2 on the Cash App. Hey, appreciate you, Ma.
I never knew that I would do numbers like this. I make a move. I'm tryna win. Ain't tryna lose. I'm tryna win. Ain't tryna lose. I never knew that I would do numbers like this. I make a move. I'm tryna win. Ain't tryna lose. I'm tryna win. Ain't tryna lose.
Hey, appreciate you, brothers. Appreciate all my brothers, everybody that's getting it. Every show, you know, we racking it in. We racking it in. I'm getting to that post office. We're gonna get there till it slow down. It's gonna be time for volume 3, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be time. So we ain't really doing it. Like I said, all I need is enough off of this one to drop the next one. You know, I don't need to make $1 million. You know, all I need to make enough to drop the next one, bro. And we're gonna let the shit, you know, grow it on its own. It's gonna grow on its own. It's gonna grow like a community, bro. And it's gonna be a lot of dudes that get left out because their mind is so small. They think so small. You know, hey man, I'm a quick thinker. I'm a quick thinker, man. Mike Dan, salute. Salute everybody. It's magazine time. It's magazine time. I feel it. I feel it in the air. We skating. We had 55 minutes. We good. We got good timing. Oh man, what up? Dirty Dog Kennel, salute. Everybody, hey, purchase that magazine, y'all. Purchase that mag. RBG, what up, brother? GMB Rocco, what up? Get it on in. Purchase that mag. It's out. You can hit that Stripe. You could jump on the Cash App, send that joint. As soon as I get up off of here, shit, I'm gonna get CC up, man. We going to the post office, man. Fill this shit out. Maybe run this back. You know, while I fill out my all my envelopes and everything, we're gonna get to this post office. Shit, who knows? Some of them should be dropping probably, I would guess, by tomorrow. The ones I shipped out last week, some of them should be probably dropping by tomorrow. So, hey, it's landing, man. We shot it off. We shot the cannon off. And it's starting to land, though. You know what I'm saying? It's starting to land. You can already know what this is going to turn into because it's just going to get better and better and better. I refuse to put out something that's not better. You know, that's just my whole thing. Even if I take 3 extra months to do it and it's late as hell, I would rather do that than to put out something that's worse. It's like I'm not growing, you know? I don't think that's growth if you're putting out worse shit than your last shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of growth. We building the team up. And we working, man. We working, man. Salute everybody, man. Hey, nah, get 1, 2, or 10 of them. Hey, get 11. Get 11 of them, you know. And we can work out some numbers too, man. I do the flat rate box. I'll ship you, you know, however many could fit in there. 50. Send you 50 copies. Work out some numbers and shit. You know what I'm saying? We can get it going. So you're gonna be popping up to these dog shows. That's how we're gonna really get it in their hands, though. I'm gonna tell you that. That's how we're gonna get it in their hands. And once it just blows the fuck up, shit, all we gotta do is sit back and watch the fireworks, man. Cannabis Cowboy, salute, brother. Appreciate you. Allergies kicking my hey. I must be a game dog, bro. I must be, dog. Bear with me. I'm the only podcaster with a bad allergy that don't take no medicine for it. Fuck it. It's tempting, but I ain't gonna do it. I'm a rider. I'm a rider. Let's talk about a dog, man. J. Halls, Robert, ROM. You know, this one came across my desk. This one came across my desk. We was chopping it up about them Eli dogs and, you know, Stompanato and everything. And this unique looking dude popped across my desk. And I thought it was good to just kind of chop him up a little bit. ROM, you know, check it out. Old dogs. I try to do mostly old dogs that are gone, you know. We don't need to be doing too many current dogs, you know, when you know, they're gonna have their time. We can give everybody their respect and their time. That's why I did my pedigree breakdowns to kind of venerate some of those old dogs that nobody talks about. You know, you could dig in the pedigree a little bit more. It's like opening up a window in a house or something, you know, let the air in so we could see some of these dogs and these pedigrees. That's why I do what I do. So far so good. It been working. I need to get back on that though. Maybe drop a 50 piece of pedigree breakdowns. Do them all and then drop them. Just drop them all in one day. Fuck it. Do them all and drop them all in one goddamn day. Fuck it. I'll do some shit like that, bro. I will. Let me see. Give me a second.
Move too flip too fast. Ain't no such thing too fast.
Drop too fast, move too fast, live too fast. Ain't no such thing as too fast.
Money's always on my mind, so I'ma get it. And if it makes sense, then you know I'm down with it. Cause people say I drive too fast, move too fast, live too fast. Ain't no such thing as too fast. I got it coming in like Usain Bolt. You want that dope? You gon' get what you pay for. Telling me I move fast, but I think you move slow. Time waits for no man. Gotta get that new dough. Just dropped off the last batch. I got a new loaf. Had to double back cause he called and needed 2 more. Maybe I be driving too fast for that guap. It's coming in too fast. I pray it don't stop. Cause I was on the bottom, gotta climb to the top. Used to rock hand-me-downs, now I'm handy on the block. I came up off the rock like Sean. I'm a whole lobster, y'all prawns. You fucking with a king, y'all pawns. And for that 25, you get that Barry Bonds. Cause people say I drive too fast, too fast, live too fast. Ain't no such thing as too fast. Money's always on my mind, so I'ma get it. And if it makes sense, then you know I'm down with it. Cause people say I drive too fast, move too fast, live too fast. Ain't no such thing as too fast. I got it coming in like Usain Bolt. You want that dope? You gon' get what you pay for. Hey, move, bitch. Get up out my way like Luda. Carpool lane by myself for the Gouda. One twitch, you could get black by a shooter. Real fast, come up in your house like an intruder. Drive 110 in the 60. Hand over that money first, you ain't about to jit me. Gotta keep that blick on my lap cause it get tricky. Keep both eyes open in these streets cause it get iffy. I need them blue avatars. Nigga, what you travel for? I was moving fast, trapping in that travel lodge. Or that days in, waiting till them days in. I'm blessed I made it this far, this shit's amazing. But people say I drive too fast, move too fast, live too fast. Ain't no such thing as too fast. Money's always on my mind, so I'ma get it. And if it makes sense, then you know I'm down with it. Cause people say I drive too fast, move too fast, live too fast. Ain't no such thing as too fast. I got it coming in like Usain Bolt. You want that dope? You gon' get what you pay for.
Drop too fast, move too fast, live too fast.
Yup. Yep. Here go that Joker. J. Halls Robert, ROM. Okay. He's coming off of Bully Son Jr. Yeah, nah, this is incredible. So they took, let me look at it on the big joint. Let me see. So Bowles, half brother to Eli. See, this right here, this is my style. You know, this is my style right here. I like it. So you got Spook, Eli, Spook, make Brindy, Bully Son. Then you're gonna take a half brother to Eli back to Brindy. So this right here, this bitch right here, this is gonna be the tight blind Billy. Like this is real tight right here. Okay, I'm kind of curious to see what the hell happened to this. I mean, I know the Bully Son Jr., but you know what else did this bitch produce? And what does she breed with? Zeke, Klaus Zeke. So they breed, they breed that to Bolio's daddy. They bred this bitch to Bolio's daddy and got this pistol dog right here. That's important when you're breeding dogs and you wonder why the lines work together. I mean, they've been doing it like this. See, this line, this would be like a hidden line, even though they jacked up the bottom. No telling how much you're gonna get out of this, but if they kept that shit fairly tight, and they got some different stuff in there. Of course, they go into the back of the pedigree too. Let me see. Socks. They kept breeding shit though. They kept breeding them damn dogs. And it gets far back and it gets kind of lost in the translation. But this Williams pistol. You got that's huge right there. Eli's half brother back to the daughter. And then this more blind Billy right there. It's good dogs. But we always hunting for the tightest of the Eli, and why they always say Eli. And I mean, come on, let's call it what it is. But that would be considered tight. Like these dogs, these dogs would be considered tight if you're gonna do that, even though, like, if I had this dog and I was looking for my Eli content, I mean, that shit's kind of getting pushed up off the board though, Now, sometimes a dog can be so potent that, only 25% or something, you know what I'm saying? And in this case, and at best situation, versus 10%, right? Cotton's Bullet. Got the Cotton's Bullet in there. Looked like some old family back in there. All the way down to these dogs. Then you got Carver's Miss Spike. Daibo Heinzel. The Tutors with Heinzel cross. Carver at the bottom. She produced her ass off too. You get a lot of good dogs coming down off of these dogs. They knew what they were doing. Half Brother the Boomerang, back to some more Blind Billy stuff, Kennard stuff, Hemp Hill. This stuff coming off the Kobe with the Centipede stuff at the bottom, Ferguson Centipede at the bottom. This black and tan buck right here. Black and tan buck. So he had to, them lines, these dogs, I mean, they've been having these colors and people wondering where it came from, and we hear that all the time. It come from the bottom, top. He got his ears cut. He looks good. He looks good. Snowman, what up, brother? Yes, sir. So now this is some good stuff. This dog, let's check out his see what directions they went in. It's always good to look at the direction that they bred him in, or who had access to him too. That it tells a story about relationships and stuff. As you can see here, I mean, he bred the Halts Blake right there, but mostly all on his yard. You know what I'm saying? So Halls, Champion Carlos, taking it to some more bully son stuff. Like this is definitely gonna be your good. I mean, for what people say, like if you're gonna look at the 10% that the dogs are today, I'll take this 10% right here. This Bobby Hall stuff. It's basically who been having them dogs, who got them. Want to see some of the stuff he was whipping up. Threw a lot of that Maloney in there. You see that. You see that through a whole Maloney tribute in there, right? Carver side of the board. Then you got the Tombstone Maloney stuff. A little Bolio in there, mostly Maloney dogs. That Toot, that Colorado dog. So man, look. You better know something, man. You better know something. These are good dogs, though. I can't say anything bad about what I see right here. I like seeing this. I like to see it stay with Halls, but if it went somewhere else and some other people got a hold of the dogs and stuff, we won't dig too far. I like to keep it ancient, keep that shit ancient. Like this pedigree got put up here 20 something years ago. We ain't fabricating or broadcasting or promoting none of this old shit. We're just looking at it because it gives us, it's in the range of content creating. We can easily create content off of this. But yeah, man, that Joker looked good. Good looking dog. Got some good lineage behind them. And you can't beat it, man. Can't beat it. Can't beat it if you got a good bred dog, no matter how it's bred. If he's a good bred dog, he comes off a good family of dogs that can produce you good dogs and have a track record of producing. You know, there's plenty of stuff around there, plenty of aunties and uncles and siblings and offsprings, and you know, it's plenty of action going on. You know, that's where you're gonna find your best dogs. I'm gonna tell you. You get an anomaly, a guy that gets a good dog. It happens all the time. They buy this good ass dog, they breed him on the yard, and then they don't produce shit. They chasing the hype. They thought that the dog status could build a family. Good genetics build families, you know. Status is a good thing. You can use it for a tool, but it doesn't necessarily have anything to do with creating good dogs, you know. So it all ties in, man. It all ties in. Let's talk about what happens to your yard when you get out of the game, when you go. What happens to the yard? I've seen a lot of old timers get out of the game. You know, R.I.P. Carl Cruz, you know. A guy I was talking to was chopping it up with him before he died. And, you know, a few guys was able to get some of the dogs and stuff. You know, the dogs are still around, you know what I'm saying? And shit, it's few of them good ass dogs he was selling for pretty damn cheap, you know what I'm saying? So I'm sure, you know, some people took advantage of that. But what happens to your yard? Some people, I heard stories about people putting the dogs down, you know. What do you guys think? You know, what happens to y'all's dogs when you go? What happens? Let's cook on that. Because there's a lot of bullshit that goes on. There's a lot of dudes that might get a hold of them dogs that you might not want them guys with it. Even though you gone, but you don't want them to benefit off of your hard work. And that's totally understandable, you know. But on the second foot, are you going to put them in hands to where that, you know, that your wishes, you know, that people listen to what you want with the dogs, and, you know, whatever your wishes, that's what goes, you know. You know, or people are going to want those dogs. Some people might say, "Oh, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna put them down. I'm gonna do this." You know, probably nobody even want that shit anyway. Is it gonna be something significant that people want? You know why you went and bought your last dog. Why'd you buy it? You know, it must have been a reason. Is your dog's gonna have that same glow about him? Oh yeah, cowboy. Hey, appreciate it. Yeah, no, that's a beautiful dog, man. That's a beautiful dog. And nah, a good camp. And I look to do more business and more stories, more everything with people, you know. Yeah, now that Hall's blood, I like it. Like it, man. I'm seeing some of that. Because everybody got their choice about, you know, the Eli blood that they're gonna get. That's what I say. You get Eli blood, you get it off of this, you get it off of that. Some of it's tighter than others. Just for saying. I mean, you know, the shit. I'm gonna just start saying blind Billy, man. Because it's just more blind Billy in that pedigree. Just right, we're close, just as close as Eli, you know. Uh let me see. Just as close as Eli. I mean, Eli was a two-time winner, I guess. I guess that's his grandpa. So they obviously wasn't having just a great winning percentages coming up out of there. Although those wins, that loss, sometimes those losses show that your dog is better than those wins. You know what I'm saying? For real, if you know what I mean. You know. So now, what happens to your yard, man? Me, in a perfect world, my sons, they love dogs. They love dogs. They understand about the bloodline. They understand about a little bit about what I have on ice and stuff. When you fill out, well, at the bank, at my sperm bank, there's gonna be a line that says, if you die or something happens to you, in an event like that, who takes over your straws, who takes over your account. It's basically somebody that they could call that is gonna track down and get the money, because that's probably the only problem they get. They got somebody's shit and they died, and then they keep sending you bills and nobody's paying it. They don't want to throw your shit away. They'll keep your shit for a few years. They've kept shit for years without payments, and of course it's adding up. But what do you do? Is somebody even able to come get the semen? After a person passes, they're probably gonna hit you with that bill before you get it. But I would want my dogs to go to my family. It's a family of dogs. We keep building on that. Yeah, Michael Myers and some of the old dogs that I had will probably be further in the back. But for the most part, there's the same type of dog, same good breeding regimen. Every so often you bring something in to reinvigorate the blood, if in case you need it, or even if you don't need it, it's doing good things when you're making crosses. Yeah, you probably didn't need it. Your dogs were probably good already, but it still did good things when you made that cross. So it's important, man. All of these elements is important. Just know the relationships that you're with. Don't overlook shit, because of course you're gonna be gone, but if you're planning on not leaving anything for the vultures, you're gonna have to plan it out right and make sure that you got those things together. Some people got money stashed aside to move all their dogs to such and such. They got that shit already mapped out. Like if anything happened, this is what it is. Just like life insurance and shit. Some people are already prepared. Some people, if they pass, they don't know what they're gonna do. They family, they don't know what's gonna happen. So if it's important to you, do that. Set it up like that. Or if you're getting out the game, you're gonna just sell everything, then I mean that's what you do. I guess don't sell it to nobody that's fighting dogs, because they're gonna come get your ass up out the grave and prosecute you. You know what I'm saying? Believe that. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. APBT Magazine, Volume 2 is out. It's been a good ride. Getting all the way from zero all the way to here. Just one day we was on here and I was like, fuck, man, I should put out a magazine. You know what I'm saying? I should, just from that day, I don't remember what day it was, but just from that one thought that I had to now, just already punched him in the eye twice. And then now I'm cocking back, getting ready to punch him again. I think it's amazing. Support what we got going on. It's going to be a good journey. We got a lot of new things, a lot of good offers. We're stretching out, creating that new wave. I gotta my intuition is telling me that, you know, a lot of these platforms that we're using to promote and things, you know, it's probably not going to be there. It's probably not going to be as effective as they once were. You know, it's good times. You know, everybody enjoyed it, good times. But sometimes you got to make new lanes in order to get better results. You know, you can't keep doing the same thing, having litter after litter, posting them on Facebook and shit. You know what I'm saying? And think that the lane is not gonna, it's just gonna open up for you, and you just gonna, I mean, you know, yeah, you might emerge, but it's gonna be 100 other motherfuckers emerging right with you, bro. You're not gonna sneak through no back door and shit. You know what I'm saying? That's what we doing. You know, we creating a different lane so that we could take part in what's going on, merch, all that shit. And some people don't think it's important, but it keeps you sustainable. It keeps your yard sustainable. If you got money coming in, you know, it helps out with a whole lot of shit in buying more quality animals, plus good equipment and different shit like computers and different things that you need to survive in this media world. At least, you know what I'm saying, you got to have all the bells and whistles, you know what I'm saying? So making money off of what you're doing and turning it into a business, you know what I'm saying, that's not a bad thing, you know. And now we could partner up on a lot of things. I got a lot of good opportunities that's coming with putting out magazines and, you know, doing different things on that level. This, I probably won't do this very often. Well, definitely not this exactly picture I'm gonna put up here. But this is a pup off of Baby Osiris and Lynch Doll. Hit me up on that joint if you want to grab it. That picture's not too old. You know, I think they're about maybe 2 weeks, maybe something like that. So there's still some time. If somebody wants to drop that hot deposit on that joint, I could pull the pet up too. Hold up. Hold up. Pull up that pad and I'm gonna get up off of here. Pull up that pad on the puppy so you guys can check it out. You know. Oh, that's Lynch Doll right there. So she comes directly off of War Pony 2, bred by Buck City Kennels. Back to Singing Bullet 2, bred by Buck City Kennels. Bred both of those. You know, pretty good bitch. You know, pretty good bitch. Her lineage, you know, it's precious lineage. This is some of the stuff that we're gonna have around forever. And you know, that's how we're rolling. You know, that's basically how we rolling, man. With that. This breeding we did back to Baby Osiris. So we took it to a son of Michael Myers. You ain't gonna get no closer than that unless you get some type of straws. Cece's busting in, so I'm gonna hurry up and get done with this. But we got the Buck City Croatina bitch right here on the bottom. She's imported bitch. I should put import on there because she's just like you go way, way back. You see it say import, then you know you gotta it applies here too. You know what I'm saying? That's why it says USA though. But she's definitely imported. And we threw that right on top of the War Pony 2 with the to a granddaughter of Michael Myers. One of the best breedings I did, Singing Bullet 2 came out of. This also was a really good breeding that I did. I bred Michael Myers back to the imported bitch. And then we got Lynch Doll back to that. So, you know, that puppy's loaded. If you guys want to take advantage, if not, you know, don't worry about it. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I ain't going to post it up here again, you know. Just to you know, this is what I do for the team. This the team do it for me. This is what I do for the team. So if that one gets sold, that's another win for the team. Somebody could drop. It ain't cheap. That little fucker's not cheap. You know, I'd let you know that right off the muscle. But it won't be no tire kicking if you just text me and be like, hey, man, you know, what they want for that puppy. I could hook it up, of course, transportation and everything. You know, you're going to have to figure that out. But if you located, you know, somewhere where you could get to it, then I advise you to, you know. But that's what's up, man. Wake and bake. Wake and bake, man. It was a good one.